Hey people, Trish Wood here. We are in real trouble. I am seeing a real degradation in the way we treat each other, the way we view each other, the way we characterize each other in our own minds. It feels like the norms of morality and citizenship and even human decency have been seriously compromised. I mean, it's shocking. It's very destabilizing. And it sets up a lot of cognitive dissonance for me, and I'm sure it does for you too. We see people in various situations in the news who something bad has happened to, or who are struggling, and we feel empathetic toward them and sad for them. And then we see people in the news media, or maybe who don't share the same political beliefs as we do, hammering them in the most cruel way that you just even 5 years ago would not have been possible. It just would not have been acceptable to do that. But that level of cruelty has really emerged in the last few years, and I think it's been exacerbated by COVID. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. But I think we are headed down a very dark road, and there's time to pull back. But we have to start thinking about how we are going to do that. We cannot have empathy only for people who share our beliefs. That is insane. And I hate to say it, but that is how you set up cults and political ideologies that are authoritarian in nature. If people who don't think the same way that you do and believe the same things that you believe are worthy only of scorn and contempt, we're far down that road, folks, and we need to really start looking at ourselves and thinking about how that's happening. I'll give you an example. Back in the day when the Vietnam War was very controversial, it was most of the time it was being fought, but near the end it was really controversial. There was a photograph of a young girl. I believe she was 9 years old. She happens to live in my town, Toronto, Canada, right now. And her name was Kim Phuc. And she was captured in a very famous photograph it won a Pulitzer Prize, by a photographer named Nick Ut. It was taken at Trang Bang during the Vietnam War on June 8th in 1972. So we're just gonna show you that picture of her. That photograph really changed the way people related to the war. It was one of those moments where really the nation and the Western world was captured, and many people who felt one way about the war changed their view of the war based on that photograph. But there certainly was shared grief about it. Even people who supported the war were moved by the plight of that young girl who was literally on fire from napalm, as I recall, back in 1972. I don't think that would happen today. I don't, and I'll tell you why. When we talk about COVID-19, there doesn't seem to have been any images from the other side that have really broken through across the board. There was one out of a care home in the UK it was actually a video of a woman saying goodbye to her mother, who was being wheeled away from the window where they'd been trying to communicate because they'd been blocked from seeing each other. That one got a bit of traction. But more generally, there hasn't been an image or a story from the people who are not representing the lockdown side or the pro-vax side that's actually broken through, even though there is an enormous amount of pain and devastation and destruction on that side of the story. We just don't hear from those people. We don't see them. They're almost invisible. And when they are put forward, sometimes they are attacked or accused of terrible things, of being conspiracy theorists, or presenting misinformation, or one of the usual claims that's made about people who are putting forth a story that doesn't fit the official COVID narrative, right? What attends that now is a level of cruelty that I think is very dangerous for us. I think that is captured in the story of a young professional mountain bike racer, an excellent one, a champion actually, named Kyle Warner, 29 years old, got the COVID vaccine and almost immediately, he had 2 shots, almost immediately started having some pretty serious side effects. And they are side effects, if we're going to call them that are now preventing him from doing what he does for a living, which is professional mountain. He's bedridden. And it's been very, very difficult for him. Now, this guy has been so very careful about how he's presented his story. You know, he's apolitical. He's been very, very careful. He's not anti-vax. He's not banging an anti-vax drum. I hate that expression, but he understood, as do I, that it's a pejorative, and he didn't want to be perceived that way. He was a healthy American kid with an impeccable reputation who got the vaccine. I believe it was the Pfizer. Yes, it was. And came down with pericarditis, something called POTS, which I believe is also heart-related, and reactive arthritis following his 2nd dose. And he's just been laid flat by it. So I want to play you a clip of him talking about why he came forward with this information and what he was trying to achieve.
Hey everyone, I just wanted to clarify something really quick. So as some of you guys maybe know, I've been speaking out a little bit more the past few weeks about my vaccine injury and just what I've been going through. And with that, I've just been getting bombarded with people asking me, you know, like, oh, are you pro-vaccine? Are you anti-vaxxer? Are you a liberal? Are you Republican? Like, what label can I put on you to either discredit you or to make you feel like I'm part of your team? And all I wanted to say is that, like, I'm just a dude. And what I mean by that is, like, I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm a dog dad, you know, I'm a boyfriend. And that's what I am first, is I'm a person. And, you know, I'm trying to navigate this whole situation and really just use my voice to make other people feel not so alone. Because what sucks about this whole situation is if you are, like, there is no middle ground. It's either you're on this side of the fence or that side of the fence. And what sucks is that's not how society should work, but it is how it works now. And even by just trying to share your story, like I'm telling you a story of a vaccine that injured me. And, you know, people say, oh, you're an anti-vaxxer. It's like, no, I got both shots.
One of the interesting things about Kyle's story is that the first doctor, ER doctor he saw, refused to believe that it was an adverse reaction to the jab. He just wouldn't believe it. Doctors have been conditioned to think it can't ever happen to anyone, and accused him of maybe having a psychotic episode. He's been diagnosed subsequently with these things. He's not imagining them. After visiting another hospital due to more heart trouble, he was referred to a cardiologist who diagnosed him with pericarditis, an inflammation of the outer lining of the heart. For months, he's been so ill he can't work or ride a bike, and even mental exertion can cause him to relapse physically. So he's been speaking a little bit, very carefully. He's very thoughtful about it, knowing what can come. He did a rally called Real Not Rare in Washington, D.C. for vaccine-injured people. And he wanted to bring attention to this issue. He's entitled to. It's a free country. There's good evidence that this actually was caused by the vaccine, given the fact that he was perfectly healthy before it happened. Why can't we look at it neutrally, given all the evidence? It just seems we can't even talk about it. So he goes to this little panel that's held by Senator Johnson in D.C., and he talks there about what happened to him, and other people talk, etc. And he was so upset that, number one, they were attacked for doing it. People really went after him hard, which is shocking to me. But also, the FDA, the CDC, Fauci, the head of the CEO of Pfizer, Albert Bourla, the head of Moderna, they were all invited to that. None of them came to hear these guys who have been vaccine injured speak. None of them. There was no one there. No one was listening. It got a little bit of media coverage, and he got a lot of backlash, this poor guy. So the last Instagram post he made was very, very disturbing. It feels like he's been really ground down by the cruelty of the reaction of a healthy kid getting shot, having his career and his life ruined, at least for now. And what he gets is pretty much ignored by the media, attacked on social media.
I need to be done just like with social media and done with all these things for a while until I can get better. Because I've never experienced with such hate in my life. And I don't know how people are supposed to deal with it. Like, I think I finally just broke today, but I don't know what to do. Like, I hate my life so much right now. And the sad thing is that, like I'm getting attacked from both sides so hard, and I'm just a guy. I'm trying to just do the right thing. I just want to share my story.
What do the people who are attacking Kyle Warner expect to get out of it? And why are they doing it? If he's making it up just because he doesn't like the pharmaceutical company or something, why would anybody do this and put themselves out there the way he has done, given his circumstances, knowing there was going to be major pushback against him? I don't understand what's wrong with you. I don't understand why you're so in love with the narrative that you can cruelly attack someone who is still struggling very, very much, quite some time after getting his vaccine. Why not show him some empathy? Why not demand that we get to the bottom of this so it doesn't happen to other people? But that's not where we are. That's not where we are right now. And I think of all of the cruelty I've seen during COVID, the people not caring about the suicides, people not caring about the depression, people not caring about the addiction overdoses, people dying alone in hospitals and long-term care, the fact that Cuomo got away with all of the deaths in long-term care and nobody really came after him. They got him for sexually harassing women, and good on them for getting him. But old people can die in long-term care and no one's charged, right? No, there was absolutely no penalty paid for that. So I'm struggling with the idea that we are becoming cruel, that we only see other people's pain when they're part of our ideology, and this is going to destroy Western democracy. It's going to destroy civilization. We can't go on this way. There are no images that unite us anymore, right? There aren't images of pain. Everything is seen through a certain lens. And I think we really, really have to think where we're going here. And I think we have to think about lovely young kids, like, I say he's a kid because I'm a mom of a kid his age, but lovely young kids like Kyle Warner, who's honestly really struggling and needing our help and being tossed aside. Stay critical. See ya.